Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a bad podcast featuring your two favorite black individuals, your two favorite long schlong holders, black mamba anaconda giving individuals. T and Avian.
I mean, where's the lie, you know? Where's the lie? That's what you really have to ask yourself. I mean, I'm not sure if I deserve that big of an intro, but let's just.
Oh, listen, man,
How you
everything's
doing
big
today?
in this Discord. I mean, in this podcast, Discord, same thing, really. Except NAS. NAS is quite small in the Discord, but I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. It's weekend.
I was gonna say, bro, we're recording this on a Friday today, so the vibes are where they should be. They are where they should be.
It should be, yeah.
Well, I think the first thing we should discuss, as per usual, short sports, which is sometimes not short. It's been international break. It's always, I feel like every international break is quite boring for the most part, but we can talk about the upcoming fixtures. Bayern are playing this afternoon, which is the only interesting game. No, actually, no, I mean, we got the Saudi Pro League, some games going on there, but if we look at the Prem real quick, I don't think there's any games tonight, but tomorrow the interesting game is on, obviously, Liverpool Wolves. That should be kind of interesting. I would say the City game, but they're just going to win. And United versus Brighton, where I'm expecting us to lose. What are your predictions for that game, by the way?
We win the game, but we play like shit.
I mean, we don't even have a right wing, but I don't know about all of that.
Yeah, so we've got option on the right wing, but I also the Brighton are a very washy team. Like I think they would have lost. I think they lost like 4-0 or something like that. Stupid. They lost to West Ham as well at one point. So they're not the best team. They lost 3-1 to West Ham, and that was like a game where they got slapped. Yeah, I expect us to win, but not play the best. I also think Sancho's done at the club, and I also think our squad's kind of fucked. But tomorrow will be fine.
I feel
I'll
like
say 2-0.
I was watching.
Hoyland scores.
I was watching what's his face? Ben Foster talking about it.
Fozzie.
Yeah. And he had a very interesting perspective, as do a lot of people right now, like around the whole Sancho kind of situation, Anthony etc, like what's going on with all of that. And one thing he said made me be like, what? Okay, sure. We're just going to pretend like, and obviously, he was there with Mark Goldbridge. I can't remember the other fucking guy, but it was random other guy.
Like
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, the biggest issue at United right now is just the Sancho situation and like how to get around that. And don't get me wrong, obviously not true. There's bigger issues than that. But do you think there's a world where Sancho actually makes it back into the team or no? Because everyone, all those people are saying no. So
I think he's going to go. But also, I think people need to remember that Sancho is 23 years old.
I was like, bro, I even forget that. I keep thinking maybe he's like 27. He's so fucking young.
He's looked on as like a winger who should be in his peak. In reality, he's 23 years old.
He's actually got 4 years.
And also, what you have to remember
even get there.
No, but so what you have to remember is Sancho went to Germany quite young. And he had some of these issues at Dortmund where it's like, basically, he said it himself, his issues are that sometimes he sleeps in too late. Like, it's not like an intentional thing. He just will oversleep an alarm and miss. Like he did it at Dortmund. And they worked a way around it, but like it's like he's late. He runs on black man time, which is obviously can be seen as unprofessional. But that's one issue they've got. Also, I think the thing is he's 23. He's not. I think they expect him to be more mature than he is because, but in reality, he moved to Germany at like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And then he came back to England at 21, and he's just been like a lot of pressure put on a 21 to 22-year-old to the point that like no matter where he turns, he's still growing up and trying to be an adult, and no matter where he's grown, like he's been attacked from all angles. So I can see. I'm like, it's one of them where I think he can come back if he's, knuckles down, works hard, and if he started. The thing with football is it's weird. If he starts putting performances in on the pitch, suddenly all the other things kind of go into the background. No one cares.
Yeah, that just tends to be the way. Football fans are very fickle, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Very fickle.
We if Sancho scores a goal, and like the main point of people have with Sancho is that they don't feel like he takes the one on enough, which seems like a confidence issue if anything, because he can do it. Like he seems like he wants to cut inside and keep possession, but sometimes they want him to take more risks. When some of the other players that take a lot more risks, like Garnacho, tend to lose the ball more and get complained at for losing the ball too much. So at United, you really can't win.
You don't get. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense from that
Rashford
kind of perspective.
scored 30 goals this season, and people say that he doesn't do enough for the team because all he does is score. So, like, realistically, as a United player, you're never like, it's always going to be not enough.
I mean, I feel like until, again, we're very, very far away from this being a reality, but until like the gap gets closed from like a city where those kind of expectations can obviously be achieved like every fucking season, every other team is literally playing catch up, and the best team right now who's in second place to even be there. Would you say it's Arsenal or Liverpool? Because it's definitely in fucking Chelsea. Would you say it's Arsenal or Liverpool between them two?
I don't think there are any teams second.
Really?
I think Man City's second team second. I say that, but I'm not joking. Like, on that bench, the reason I say that is because United's team is about. There's like clear issues within the team. I'd say talent-wise, you look at United and Chelsea, and you'd say those two teams should be second or third in the league. You're looking at like 30 goal strikers, the amount of money put into teams, whatever. Arsenal's team are good, but not incredible. Like, you can see clear holes in the team. At one point, that man was playing Thomas Partey right back. I just don't see it. Like, they play good football, but I just don't see them beating bigger teams. Liverpool, every midfield signing they tried to make, Chelsea stole from them. So their midfield looks like a donut. Tottenham, no one cares. Newcastle made good signings, but not enough to push them anywhere.
Yeah,
Brighton,
I think they're probably just going to try their best in the Champions League and then just.
The way I see the league is it's Man City are up there, and then like
has to be Liverpool.
I see Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Liverpool in just one line. Like, I just see them in. I feel like we're all finished on around the same amount of points. I would like City finish on 90 points. United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool all finish around 75, 80. Like, we'll beef ourselves while them man run off with the league. I'd say maybe if you're putting it on right now, you might be able to say Arsenal because they did it last year, but like they look worse than they were last year. And even though they've added Declan Rice,
I was gonna say because if you base it off of like last season, don't get me wrong, last season I like Chelsea imploded, Liverpool had a shitter. I mean, I just don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, United, it always strikes me. I think because it's the team, obviously, the one I pay the most attention to. Like, you know, when you lose a game, like, you just pay much more attention. You're like, I don't know. Like, So I'm
you're
like,
way more critical
I don't know.
to the games
Exactly.
You watch United more, so what happens is you see United's weaknesses more. Whereas with Arsenal, you'll just see, like, if you see United 3, Forest 2, you're not deep in the game, but when you watch a United game, you're like, how do we go 2-0 down? There's mistakes there. Like, there's things because
you're like, you just watch how
I would honestly say
the
only way I could explain it is that United, Arsenal, Chelsea probably have the highest ceilings out of the rest of the clubs. I would say right now, if you were putting bets on, I'd put Arsenal second, United third. But United and Chelsea probably have higher ceilings than Arsenal. Because if our team clicks with Højlund up front, Rashford on the left, and someone on the right with Casemiro, like Amrabat and like Mount or Bruno or stuff like that, I think that we can push on and we'll have a great run. But like we did last year, where from like November to like the Carabao Cup final, we won like 15 games. Chelsea's team, they've got so many players there that are quite young that I think they could actually like push each other. If Pochettino manages it well, they could push each other to. Like kind of like you can see them like having like 4-5-0 games against the shitter teams and they're pulling off luckier results. Arsenal's one all comes down to is Declan Rice the whole guy. Like if he can control the whole team, maybe. Like if he can do the defensive cover, but also go up, maybe score some goals, create things, and then let Odegaard be more free. They've got a good chance. But also their front three, I don't know, like Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus is not like it's it's kind of meaty, to be honest. Like Saka's great. Martinelli can beat players and will get crosses in, and Jesus is more of a link-up player than a finisher.
That makes sense.
I'd back Højlund before I'd back Jesus. So like, I think if Højlund's what he was for those 30 minutes against Arsenal, then United look a lot better. Because
I feel that.
Martial.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, respect to all those people who still have a lot of love for him. I mean, good for you, my friend. Good for you. But no, I'm good.
I've got a lot of respect. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'll tell the truth. I think if Martial's used sparingly and used and I mean sparingly, like 20 minutes at the end of some games, cup games, and he can be quite a dangerous striker. He will score goals. He gets in the right positions. The problem is that we play a football that's like Rashford sprinting, Anthony's sprinting and then cutting left. Like it's a lot of overlap, and we need Martial to be we need someone stronger, someone who's willing to do the dog work, because otherwise what teams do is they just kind of leave Martial one-on-one and then double team Rashford. If you've got a Højlund who's causing issues, you'll see the same thing that Haaland does, where he'll let Grealish get more space. And if we let Rashford have a one-on-one with a right back all game, it's long.
I was going to say
what they do to Ben White and spin him man inside out and shit.
To be fair, what I did like, I was watching TikTok, of course, and they were doing an interview with Rashford. I think it was he's done a bunch of press around the new fucking FIFA coming out, which is not FIFA, but you know what I mean.
EA Sports FC 23.
And he was obviously they were asking questions about him after they showed obviously his rating, which is 85 or some shit. And he was but in your personal game, away from the card and stuff, what would you want to improve on? From your perspective? He just said the one thing which he wants to improve on from him, just look at his own game, is just obviously his passing and his vision. He said that, and I was so happy about that, bro, because I feel obviously again, because I watch United all the time, I'm obviously very critical of that those little things, bro. So him saying that, I was that's crazy. That's actually kind of cool.
When you started this initially, I thought you were going to say what Rashford says every time, which is normally him going, I need to practice my heading, and I get annoyed because then he never does.
Yeah, no, I don't know. He was pissed about his pace. He was pissed about his
passing
pace.
And vision. Well, yeah.
He's 90 pace, but he was it's good, I guess.
Yeah. So the thing is, if Højlund and Rashford develop a partnership where Højlund knows where to go for Rashford to pass the ball quicker, I think it will be dangerous. One of the biggest problems Rashford always has is sometimes he'll have the ball, the player will make a run, but it won't be sometimes it's not the greatest run, and you look at it and you're do something with it, and you're I don't know what to do. I'm not the footballer you are, do something with it. You kind of kick it somewhere, cross it maybe. Whereas if Højlund then starts making the runs and he then starts playing the ball earlier, I feel we'll actually be able to push forward into these counter-attacks, because sometimes Rashford gets the ball, cuts inside, there's no actual pass on, so he just kind of cuts again, and then he just kind of waits for back up, and then you look at it's 4 man rushing him, and you're yeah, we're fucked.
But do you not also think it's a situation of, say for example, obviously when Ronaldo was there, it was a little bit different. He knew if I just cross it, I don't know, something might happen. Do you not think he can still have the same mentality there if he knows I don't know, someone can half decently fucking header the ball?
If he knows Højlund's in there, maybe. But okay, I'll ask a question.
Otherwise, the other solution is he just gets double teamed and we just lose possession of the ball anyway.
Okay, so you're Rashford. A ball gets played over the top. You cut inside. You beat your left back. You look up. The centre back has come over to cover you running in, so you can't run in. You look up into the box and you see Weghorst.
He's tall. I don't know about the end.
But that's the thing.
But what happens is he doesn't do that. He tries to do it himself. Then we lose the ball anyway. So what is the harm in at least?
My point is more, because I've seen him try to cross the ball into his man and them not do anything. My point is more, if Højlund is that dangerous striker and Bruno gets further up the pitch, and we give him 2 options, if he works on that, because I think that's Rashford's game is still evolving. I think if he works on those better decisions, 25, he's younger than us.
Fuck off.
Rashford, yeah.
It's because he's been around for like 500 years.
Rashford's 25 years old. He's 26 this year.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's 20. You're looking at a 25-year-old striker who scored what? Like hundreds of goals at like club level. Like, you're looking at someone who he scored 77 goals and then like 16 for England. Like, so you're looking at someone who's still developing in their game. Like, so obviously, if he can learn that though and have these better players around him, we'll get easier chances. And I think someone like Højlund's gonna love that. It's also why I'm a bit upset about the Sancho thing because I genuinely hand on heart believe our best front three is Rashford, Højlund, Sancho. I think if that clicked, we'd have.
I was going to say that would be a good front three.
It has the balance you need because the man can cut inside. Sancho's a better passer of the ball, but can also get inside and put crosses in. Højlund drops in. Like, I think that's our best front three because, you know,
I think the only thing Sancho needs to work on is probably just his shooting. If we're going from the preseason, it's just his shooting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, preseason, depends which game, because he had the Arsenal game, that goal was sick. And then you had that other game, which was like Dortmund or something. Where you know what it is for Sancho? You know what it is for Sancho? No, it was when he kicked, like, he got blocked a lot in the box. I think the thing I want to see for Sancho is if he is
No, bro. It's the one where he just blatantly, he's had plenty of time, and then instead of shooting, he just passed it away.
That's what I was going to say. But if we, so for me, I want to see Sancho back in the team. I want to see Ten Hag actually be a coach. This is when you have to be a coach. You've got a talented player, and instead of trying to go through these, I can rehabilitate Greenwood, fuck that. You take a player like Sancho, he's 22, 23, you put him in your team. You say, look, the standards you've set aren't acceptable, but here's what you need to do. Do this, and then we'll put you back in the team. Okay, let him hit them targets. Let him show you who he wants to play. Put him back in the team when he hits those targets, and put him in a position to win. I want to see Sancho get into the box and shoot first time sometimes. I know it won't always go in, but sometimes it's nice to have a player who cuts and shoots. Because what he's doing is kind of getting in the box and then going, I should pass this. No, fuck it, shoot. Like, why am I seeing Sancho roll the ball to Fred? I saw that for so long. Nah, Sancho shoot. If you miss, you miss. Fuck it, you're a footballer. Like, you get paid either way. I
was going to say, bro.
Rashford can do the same thing. Højlund, like, because that way we've got an attack where the ball can go either side and defense have to watch out for shots. Like, if we only play, if it's Anthony, Sancho, if it's Anthony, Rashford, and Højlund, it's still a good front three. I just don't. It lacks something. Like, Anthony's playmaking is not great.
Yeah, definitely not. And
so,
yeah, I don't know.
And I kind of worry for Højlund because if I'm a striker, because obviously as someone who plays striker, like, you want to know what your player's doing, and if Anthony's always going to cross in if Anthony's always going to cut back to his left, it's going to make Højlund's crosses a lot harder because he's going to have to like time a run a lot differently and work. Basically, his best bet will be just trying to work out where Anthony's going to shoot and then try to pretend it was a cross when he headers it in. That might be his best, like, but like, if Anthony gets down the byline and cuts it back, Højlund has way more of a chance to score goals.
Yeah.
But also, Anthony has no right foot.
I was going to say that requires him to know how to use his other foot. To get
past and go on the right foot and cut it back. I mean, he could like let Wan-Bissaka or Dalot overlap and pull it back, but also like, you're my right winger. You're the one I want on the fucking ball.
I was going to say, I mean, that also will burn a lot of stamina for the right backs.
Because now they're going to overlap.
Do that. Yeah.
I think you look at Man City and they always have like a Mahrez, a Bernardo Silva, a Foden. Those are players you can get into like those half spaces and create like a goal to one. That's how Haaland scores so many goals.
I have a question for you.
Into that little half space.
I was watching a debate thingy. Someone said that Saka will have a better career than Phil Foden. Like,
I agree.
No fucking way.
No, I do.
In terms of what? Trophies? That's impossible. Like, no, in terms of what, then?
No. I genuinely think, so I'll say this in two different ways. I think Foden's a naturally better talent than Saka. Okay. I think Saka has a better career than Foden.
How?
So okay.
Are we not factoring in trophies in this at all?
Oh, okay. So
because career involves trophies, bro. It's the only reason why Kane left Tottenham, bro.
But I'm talking about level of success. I'm talking that Saka will be one of the better. Like, Saka will be one of the best right wingers for the next 5 to 10 years. Where I don't know if Foden will. That's me being deadly honest. He will be now like
crazy.
Well, he's not a starting right winger for City. Or starting player for City.
Pep rotates everyone all the time.
But even then, he's still not a first name on a tee sheet. It's because he's used quite sparingly, actually, when you consider even like Grealish is getting more game time than him. Yes, he's...
Yeah, but do you not think if swapped, if you put Foden in Arsenal and obviously put Saka in fucking City, do you still not think Pep would treat them the exact same in terms of rotation? He would.
Yeah, which is why I don't think Saka should go to City. Okay, so here's how I explain it. I think that him being under Pep and Pep's constant rotational thing where he gets like some games or like he'll come on as a sub and he's like so Foden's only had one Foden's had one season where he scored 100 goals, even though he's had 4 to 5 full seasons. He's had so what this is his I think it's his 6th season in the league. He started at 18, he's 23 this year, 23, 24.
Yeah.
He was born in 2023. I think him being under Pep will make him a more successful player, or like in terms of trophies won, because obviously he's won the treble. He's gonna win he's gonna win all you can in club football, but it's also gonna stunt his development not playing week in week out. I think there's a level to Foden that he'll get to. I think there's a level to Foden that means that he could be one of the better players that we've created, but he may never hit that potential. And it happens with a lot of players. There are a lot of players that are like, whereas with someone like Saka, I'm watching Saka develop by playing games and being in these fucking. I think sometimes being the most important player in a lesser team means that you take on this responsibility and it gives you the chances to shine and be better than you may have been. Whereas Foden's just Foden is like a part of a really well-oiled machine, but also he can be replaced where you can't replace Saka. And I think
you're telling me if Arsenal got rid of Saka, Foden wouldn't immediately fit into that role and do just as good as a job as he does.
He's a
playmaking, shooting, assisting. He can do it.
Yeah, not. Foden's that type of player. Foden's the type of player I look at and I say you have every natural talent. Like the things you do naturally. But I don't look at him and I'm like, oh, you're an unstoppable player, or like you're like Saka. He's developed into that type of unstoppable player because he's been playing the game and having to do it. Like even for England, like I'm watching him. He's a starting right winger. He's playing. He's scoring tons of goals, and you're like, okay, Foden. He would walk into the Arsenal team, but like, I don't know how much he'd. I think if you put Foden in the Arsenal team and take Saka out, the Arsenal's the worst team. I think if you take Foden out of City and put Saka there, they're the same team. I think they do the exact same bit. Like Foden scored 11 goals that season. 3 of them were against us in that one game, which means he scored 8 goals in the other 31. Like he's not a goal scorer. He scored 1 goal in Europe. He scored 15 goals that season in one of their bigger seasons where he literally has he's playing 50 games that season. Like he played 50 games, got 15 goals, and 3 of them were against us. Even when he played lower teams, he's not. He's also been very happy to take the backseat to Haaland, which has kind of made his life easier.
I mean, if you're working in Pep's system, whatever he wants to run the system as, you will abide by that. So otherwise, you're sitting on the bench and not playing.
The best thing. So the thing is, Saka's the main man of the Arsenal system. The main man of Pep's system is Pep Guardiola, and that's the difference. I think some people want that. Grealish wanted that because you get to be like like Henry described it best. Like Henry's best seasons didn't come under Pep Guardiola because he was a system player. Like Henry went freedom, he got that under Wenger. But when he went to Guardiola, Guardiola told him, "You play on the left, you stay there. Like you're a role player. You fill a role, and if you don't do the role, you come off the pitch." Which is fair. It's gonna make them. It makes them a successful team, but also it just doesn't mean that individuals within it are going to be that successful. It's Foden's trophy cabinet's going to be like stacked, but also he'll have so's Calvin Phillips. It doesn't make him more successful than Rice,
but Calvin Phillips is nowhere near like a Foden. But I asked you that question
same
loaded.
Trophies though.
Yeah, but he's just a better player.
But they've got when you look at achievements, they'll have the same thing.
Yeah, no, but like I also asked that question based on talent as well, like because that was relevant. But I asked that question again, loaded, because in the same debate which I was listening to, they said that okay, now after people had like settled on which side they prefer between obviously Saka and Foden, whatever, they're like, so do we all agree that Jude Bellingham will be a better player than both of them?
Yes. Not even close.
But then again,
Jude Bellingham is a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but then again, like you think about it, I mean, obviously, this is obviously God willing. There's no fucking injuries and all that good shit.
Okay, well that's
Like
that's
they also
fair enough.
brung it into the conversation of does obviously Premier League tax not get involved as well, because this is quote unquote the hardest league in the world, blah blah blah. And then I was gonna say, listen, man, this is what this is the debate I listened to. I just listened to it because I was like, oh, this is I like watching people shout at each other. But yeah, like I was like, I don't know. I mean, does that factor in? I mean, didn't factor in with Messi and Ronaldo because obviously.
Okay, so here's my honest opinion on the English tax. The English tax thing only works if there's a player that you don't think would ever work in England. That doesn't work for Bellingham because firstly, I watch him ball out in the Championship. I don't care. Secondly, I watch him ball out for England. Thirdly, he's in La Liga, which I don't. You can use that for Mbappe. You can do he didn't play it like because France is an easy league. But Spain, when they're winning the most of the Champions Leagues, when they are the better teams.
But they said that about Germany too. They said Germany's an easy league.
But Germany's an easy league too. I don't believe it is in terms of like the players. You know, I think the players themselves. I think Germany's a tougher defensive league. You look at these German teams and they are set up, but I also think, you know, sometimes you can like Bayern will get a lot of counter attacks and she'll have a lot of chances to score goals. So sometimes you can accumulate stats quite well in Germany, and also the bottom team in Germany compared to the top team, there's a gulf because Bayern has way more money than any other team in the league. Dortmund are bigger than third and fourth, so there's a gulf. So you can have a good season at Bayern, and it can mean less because whatever. Whereas in the English league, because obviously there's more money on it because they forced that TV rights so high, teams can come up and get 100 million when they get promoted and spend it wrongly, but it still makes the game tougher.
Yeah,
you can't look at Jude Bellingham and say that wouldn't, like, look what he's doing. I watched him. He's 20 years old.
Is he even? Oh yeah, no, he just turned 20.
He's 20 years old. He just turned 20. He turned 20.
He's 19.
Yeah, no, he turned 20. He's 20 years old, and he is walking through professionals who've been playing for 10 years. And he's doing it naturally. He's moving the ball, shifting his feet. Like, he's got natural talent, natural positioning. He's a strong player. Like, and he's only going to get better. Like, where Drew Bellingham in 2 years, if he doesn't get injured, where he will be in 2 years will be times way better than the player he is now. And the player he is now is probably one of the better ones in the world. There's a reason Real Madrid winning for him. It's not an accident. They've seen that talent and said, we need him.
That's very fair.
If you need him, then I think it generally goes Bellingham and then the Saka Foden. You can argue that, like, the same with, like, I think what happens with English wingers is we argue how great they're going to be. And realistically, it comes down to the same thing. Like, normally, they're not going to win anything for England because we never have a great manager. It's going to depend on which team they play for, on what individual success they get when this is a team game. And goals and assists will only matter if you're defending on the player that you're talking about, or if it's the other way around, you'll be like, oh well, he does more in the game. You should just watch it. I think you know what my biggest debate is how does Henderson still get to an English team when we've got all these players? Why does Gareth Southgate say that Foden?
Make it make sense.
Why did Gareth Southgate say that Foden? Gareth Southgate said Foden can't play centre mid because Pep didn't play.
You know how stupid that is.
Not good enough to play centre mid.
You know. He can't play centre mid. Pep could put.
He also said he can't play centre mid in the bigger games,
and he would probably do a half decent job. That's stupid.
I'm telling you, there's a world in which the World Cup's coming. No, the Euros are coming up, right? There's a world in which we have in goal probably. You look at Ramsdale, probably the better out of the better out of the three. Then at right back, you could have a mixture of. You could literally choose between Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Reece James if he's healthy. You've got 5 choices. At left back, you've got Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell. At centre back, you should have John Stones. And then next to him, you can have Fioka Tomori. You can have Mark Guehi.
Harry Maguire is going to start, you know it.
And then you can have, like, you know, or you can play Kyle Walker's right centre back. Another 5 options. These are all great players. CDM, you can literally have.
I noticed that you didn't say his name.
For England, I did.
Okay.
It was muted. I said, I can't remember.
It was muted.
Yeah, Mark Guehi. Right, that's what I said. It. So then, centre defensive mid, you're looking at Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips, and you're like, okay, so you can play either one of them. And also you've got younger players that are coming up as well. Then you've got
I've forgotten how Calvin Phillips even plays because like
he's played more. He's played more for. He started more for England than he has for Man City. But he's still a good player because he was when you look at the World Cup and those performances, he's a good player. He's industry. I play him as a backup to Declan Rice, or with Declan Rice if we need it. But also then you've got Bellingham who can play centre mid, Foden who can play centre mid, Grealish who can play cam. You've got James Maddison. You're looking at you've got James Maddison. You got Mount. You got Grealish. You got Bellingham, and you got all these options that can push forward and give you like pushing forward in your team. You can play Bellingham
I feel like Bellingham gives me like if Bellingham could like, don't get me wrong, he could obviously do it, but I mean but effectively adapt into like a really good cam, he would be ridiculous, bro.
So if I was the England manager, I would play Declan Rice as my sitting CDM. I would play Jude Bellingham on my right or left or right, doesn't really matter. And then what I would do is I'd tell him to be more of a box-to-box midfielder. So like have the creativity to do what you want and be in spaces you need to be. And then next to him, I'd play like a traditional 8. So Maddison, Foden, and against these teams that like, you know, Declan Rice can like contain, and those two can push forward. And then I'd have Rashford on the left, Kane on the right, Saka on Rashford on the left, Kane in the middle, Saka on the right. And I would literally try and kill teams. The English team, we are so defensive because we're scared to lose, because we don't know how to win, because it's defeatist mentality.
Like,
just
you
attack.
know what would be hilarious? Like, I would love to see like a Southgate trying to like manage like a Brazil. You know how quickly that man would get kicked out of the job, bro. That man would get rid of him so fucking
this is how he set up Brazil. He'd be like, okay, at the back we're gonna have Thiago Silva. We're gonna have okay, and then he'd be like, okay, so Thiago Silva's gonna play there. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll play 3 centre backs, okay, left wing back, right wing back, 2 CDMs. Let's control it. Okay, Neymar, you play as natural striker. Okay, and then okay, we're like Vinicius Junior. No, it doesn't track back enough. Okay, well, let's get two guys who should have been out the team 5 years ago, and they can play left mid, right mid. And what we'll do is we'll play 9 man at the back, and Neymar, you just like shooting it. Okay, cool. And then after the 85th minute, if the other team has scored, then I'll bring on wingers to try and win the game. You'd be fired. Look at that France. You know that France team, fam. You know what? That France team. I know that man would have been going. I could put
they would have never won that fucking World Cup when they did.
He'd be like, Pogba centre back, Camavinga centre back, Chouameni, good centre back.
This motherfucker, can he not read? That's how you know he plays Yu-Gi-Oh. That's how you know he plays Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sir.
Hello?
Sir! We are mid-record, can you not read?
Why are you joining and leaving? Okay, deal.
What do you want?
No. Are you mid-recording a podcast? Yeah, alright. Leave it. Bye.
Nah, this nigga needs Jesus.
I'm not taking this out.
Leave that in. No, leave that in.
Leave it out. I'm taking it out. But edit.
Can't read. Can you not read?
Pam, I can't. What was even going on? I can't remember.
I was saying that if Southgate had the France team, they'd never won anything.
Oh, question for you.
They 0-0 every game.
If, say, for example, in another universe, France won the World Cup this year, you know, because obviously Mbappe's performance in that final, god tier, best World Cup final of all time. Yep. France win, Mbappe obviously lifts the World Cup. Ballon d'Or, Messi's no longer even in the equation. It's between Haaland and Mbappe. Who would you give it to?
I've seen that tweet.
Who would you give it to?
Haaland.
I don't know, man. He's France's top goal scorer, won Ligue 1, won the other French trophy that they had going on over there, he won the World Cup, performing like that in the final. Here's how
to break down the stats. Here's how to break down the stats. Yes, amazing World Cup final performance. Cool. But also, the way I'm breaking it down is Haaland would have scored more goals, would have won 3 trophies, including the Champions.
I mean, Mbappe would have won 3 too.
Which Mbappe didn't win and was in.
3 trophies? It's still 3 trophies, and one of them's a World Cup.
Okay, but I said Champions League. Don't come into me with the French League Cup. Okay, I said Champions League because that's what they're both in the same tournament. So yes, he would have won the World Cup. Yes, and I think he'd come second. But also, if I'm looking at a man who just because maybe for me, the Ballon d'Or is meant to be an individual award.
Okay.
But for the best player in the world, and if Haaland is breaking records and winning trophies because he's helping his team because he's scoring, I'd have him at 1 and Mbappe at 2. I also think Haaland should be number 1 without Messi winning the World Cup because I'm being honest, I don't think Messi's had that great a year. I actually think him winning the Ballon d'Or just because he won the World Cup kind of unweighted, especially considering most of his goals were just penalties. Like it's not like he played well, but like I think it's basically just Messi's finally done it. We have to give him the award. Like I get it, he's the likable face of football, but like
I mean, shout out to
and it kills me to say that, by the way.
I mean, I can imagine. Did I log off?
I want to hate him. Luckily, he's a prime athlete, so as he's a prime athlete, I'm allowed to praise him a little bit. Yeah, obviously that's his main team. It's
God
Prime,
bless the
and then he
robot.
plays on the. It's Prime. He's a prime athlete who plays Sunday League, Saturday League, sometimes. You know? For some team, I don't know the name of them.
Well,
fuck Messi.
Long live Ronaldo. We love Ronaldo here.
See.
To the day we die. All right, question for you. Have you got any other things you want to say about football, or are we moving on to the rest of sports? And by the rest of sports, I mean,
next week I'm gonna be depressed. So just
why?
Depression's back.
Why?
Because football's back, fam, and I just know what these teams finna do to me. Let's just move on. I'm already sad.
All right. So the rest of the sports, WWE wrestling, Nia Jax is back. Everyone, every fan ever. I haven't seen. Like usually you see like obviously there's like two sides to it. Even with like our shitty United players and what they've done, there were defenders on both sides. I haven't seen a single positive thing about Nia Jax being either.
Okay, no, you want to because you want to bring the best out of me. Okay.
Listen, here's why short sports.
Here's why
which is now 40 minutes long.
Thing about this woman. I don't care. Here's why there's not one positive thing about that woman. You know why? Because how do you have 8 injuries? How do you cause 8 injuries in 1 year? She caused so many injuries. At one point, her and Charlotte got into a fight. And when I say a fight, I mean they were stood in the middle of the ring. And she was going, hit me then. And then she got hit. And she went, cool. And then she got chopped. She said, oh, now what? And then she started waffling the woman for real. I was like, wait, why are you man shooting? Relax. She almost broke Becky Lynch. We should have had Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey.
People were pissed about that,
punched Becky Lynch in the face and broke her nose. Yes, Becky Lynch made it a good storyline and did a badass thing, and then she got more over from it. But no, you punch someone in the face. I've seen her drop people on there. Then one of her best segments was her jumping on a ring fucking apron and going, my hole. Why? They bought. She's not good.
I don't know. I don't know why they did it. And you know what the thing is?
You know what? I know why they've done it because.
But this decision was made after Vincent. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Do you want to know? Yeah. Do you know she's the so there's 2 things. Do you know the reason why she was fired?
No.
Because
I can't remember.
She was fired because she wouldn't. No. The only reason she was fired is because she wouldn't get the COVID vaccine. That was it. And then she did this whole thing.
So they just waited long enough for it not to be like as big of a deal, and then just brought her. That's
yep. No.
If you're in that women's division, do you not be like, because obviously they would have like mentioned it to them prior. Do you not think they would have been like, obviously the question for them would be, has she had additional training like around that? Whether she would have told the truth or been captain.
I'll give you a 45-second timeline of what happened. She injured a lot of people, was basically put in a position where like people were kind of like, it's not her fault, but these accidents happen a lot around her. Then she got fired. Everyone felt sympathy for her initially until she went on a podcast talking about shit, and then it came out that she didn't get a COVID vaccine, and they were like, we can't employ you because we can't use you. So she got fired. She's been doing training. She dropped some weight, working with Charlotte because Charlotte's her friend. So Charlotte may have, asked and spoke to the right people.
Okay,
She's been signed back with WWE for a month. They couldn't announce her being back because they couldn't do an official contract because they were waiting for the hiring freeze to end because of the TKO deal. So the day before that on Vince McMahon's last, because Vince McMahon is now no longer owns WWE. So the last person who was over on Vince McMahon's WWE that's been going for 50 years was Nia Jax. And at that point, end the company. We're good. I'm good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. God bless Nia Jax. All right. On to the final bit of sports news here. I was disappointed by this. Stayed up to watch the Izzy fight against Sean Strickland. I know it wasn't my finest decision in life, but I was awake anyway, and watched the fight with the missus. And I can tell you right now, I don't know what happened that fight. Izzy was on the back foot the whole fucking fight. Got his shit beat in. He was just trying these. I don't get me wrong. Weird. Izzy's like whole thing is like he has perfect offense and like a slick defense. But in that fight, my guy just looked like a puppy dog getting his shit beat in, and it was very unfortunate. Obviously, he lost. Unanimous decision. Wasn't even a question. Did you see any highlights from that fight?
I'm still so mad about Nia Jax, fam. I can't lie. I watched the whole fight. I was up anyway. Izzy's, the problem with Izzy is that he's doing the thing that Anderson Silva used to do, where his best feature was not getting hit because he could judge his range. Now people are learning how to judge his judging of range, so people are getting inside more. He's slowed down a little bit because you can see he's dealing with injuries and shit, and he's getting caught more because you can't have the confidence that you can't get knocked out and then keep getting hit. So
but
it was a shit fight. Like,
I was gonna say, if they run it back, obviously I would
will
still
say one good thing about the
100% bet on Izzy to win that fight.
Yeah, but I don't care. But do you know my favorite bit of the fight? Nas didn't watch it live, but he knew who won. So he messaged me and he's like, "Oh yeah, was the fight worth watching?" I'm like, "It's kind of okay." He went, "Oh, I don't know how he wins," and I went, "Yeah, he wins by reverse." I was like, "He wins by rear naked choke," and Nas was like, "Oh, why'd you tell me?" I was like, "Oh, my bad. I thought you were asking me." So then Nas watched the whole fight intensely, waiting for a rear naked choke. So I have to watch all 25 minutes. Like, when's it gonna happen? And I've ruined it that morning, and that made me so happy.
You know what, Davian? I fully respect that.
Man was fully watching, like, where's it gonna happen? Is it here? Is it here?
And the thing is, after watching that whole 25 minutes, at no point does it even look remotely close to happening. He would have had to teleport onto his back for that to happen.
I wanted to think that like he got caught slipping and stuff. Yeah, like it was great though. I enjoyed it.
Oh my fuck!
I think the most unlikely thing too. I was like, yeah, rear naked choke. Yeah. Well, yeah, apart from that, I don't know. I'm just kind of off UFC. I'm really watching it.
I was gonna say, like, there's literally no fights which interest me at the moment. All right, I think we can hop straight into the influencer news. The Sidemen charity match raised over 2.5 million pounds. I think, like, overall at the end, like over 2.5 mil. Congratulations for that. What did you think of the match? Also, shout out to Speed, man. My guy fucking improved so much, even though he missed a pen. But
he did, but also, like, I mean, where he started to get to there, like
last year compared to this year,
but also he's an athletic kid anyway. He's not a Vic, so like I think we've watched Vic and been like, wow, he can now kick a ball with speed. Someone who could, he's athletic anyway, so he could have picked up the sport in the year that he's been around it. But no, the game wasn't as good as the last one, but it was fun.
Yeah, because I watched
the Heat made it a lot worse.
Yeah, because I didn't watch it live, but I watched it like after. I kind of like skim watched it. I watched like maybe like 20 minutes. Like I condensed it into 20 minutes. But yeah, it didn't look as fun.
So it was 30 something. It was 30 something degrees heat, and it was hotter in the middle. The teams were going well. It was so obviously Ethan's first goal was sick.
Yeah, that was a good goal.
That like moment and like the way he ran through, and obviously bad keep and whatever. Chris MD's goal was sick, and then the game was actually kind of nice. It was like they were playing, but like the shoot all sides were kind of killing Sidemen, and then Theo got injured, and obviously hurt his hip.
Yeah,
and then once he hurt his hip, the game died off because they had no control in midfield. Philly got cramp as well, so then suddenly it was more Sidemen, and then. I mean, my favorite thing about this was that the game. So, like, obviously, Speed missed the penalty. JJ had a lot of chat, but people keep complaining. So, it's this thing on my social media.
Okay.
I don't get it personally, but like, Cal Freezy got hate.
What for?
Because he stopped Speed scoring. Basically, after charity
That's
matches.
the fucking game. What are you?
No, but let me so no, let me so no, but it's not just that. Cal Freezy got hate for try harding. Manny got hate for trying too hard.
I mean, the Manny thing, I can get it a little bit, only because he didn't pass to Deji when he was wide open. But when I watched Manny's review video of it, he was like, honestly, like when you're in that position, that many people watching you, it literally, you feel like sometimes it's tunnel vision.
Also,
and
more
he
importantly,
genuinely didn't
see Deji. Also, I don't think. Also, so Manny scored 3 goals. He scored that one where he could have passed the Deji, but even if he passed the Deji, it wasn't going in. I don't know why anyone's pretending that would have happened. The second one he scored was a rebound off Sidemen's shot. And the third one, he tried to pass to Vic, and Vic was like 5 yards ahead of him offside.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, the third one, that wasn't like that would have just obviously been offside. But like, you can't say like, but it wouldn't have gone in when he passed it to Deji, because that's what the whole event's about. Like 90% of those people who could score, there's a chance they won't, but it's all about that 10% chance if they do for the moments.
The reason why I categorically said Deji won't score is because I remember the Sidemen charity match where they kept giving him the ball to score. That brother can't kick a ball.
Oh, that could have been his chance.
No. He had other chances.
That could have been the 0.001%.
You know what would have happened? Manny would have rolled the ball to him and he would have missed the ball. And I'm being honest. And then JJ would have yelled at Deji. We had another Olatunji beef. Is that what people wanted? Because if you rolled the ball to Deji,
they
had
one
missed.
Anyway about hairlines afterwards.
Yeah, that was fine. Had he rolled the ball to Deji and Deji missed, JJ would have run up to Deji like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then he would have beaten. Do you not want them to spend Christmas together? But the thing is, for me, the point of a charity match is to have people of lesser talent who are entertaining with people who can play football, and then it's on both sides. You get a lot of goals, but also it means that the people with more talent can obviously help the lesser talent. But like, you can't then complain that, oh, you tried too hard because you scored. Like, that's the point. It's meant to be competitive. Otherwise, what's the point of, like, people train for charity games because they want to be the best version of themselves. What's the point if it's not being competitive? It doesn't make it fun for the people playing. And if we're just going to go around and give charity goals out, then we may as well make the game 50-45 and say, well, everyone scored, so we're all happy. Like, no, you earn the goal, which makes it more fun. Like, when Vic got his goal, he got the penalty and then got an open goal, like, open chance. Like, you have to earn it. Ethan hadn't scored in years. Ethan hadn't scored in all of the years. Harry scored his first goal at a charity game. Banger.
That was a sick goal. Josh tried his best. But
Max Fosh scored a banger. Like, you earn those chances by, playing. Like, you want people to, like, play well and try hard. You put shit people in defense so people get chances. And then you let people like Manny and Toby, like, last year, they were the ones who made the game. It was mostly their goals.
I mean,
so people, it's just a speed lot, fam. They're just jarring.
Yeah, listen, he's got cult, bro. He has 10 mil followers. He's gonna have that cult following.
Cal Freezy, you blocked a shot online.
This year as well, by the way, like, they had a bunch of like creators that I just didn't know who the fuck they were.
Never heard of Airac. One guy was a Sidemen cameraman.
That guy who had who was wearing like the straw hat thing, or like the cowboy hat,
the one piece.
Whoever the fuck that guy? Who the hell is that guy?
They went for some like TikTokers and shit. I didn't know who they were. I was like, for the young people, you probably know who they are, but I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. It wasn't great. Like, it wasn't bad. I just felt bad because obviously it was so hot that like people weren't really running, and then
it was a good event, but like
Vic played 80 minutes and didn't need to. I was like, damn, why is this nigga still on the pitch?
I was gonna say, like, that was when I
heard
that, when obviously skimming through, I didn't realize that. But when I heard that he played 80 minutes, I was like, why?
For what reason? He didn't. I think my favorite player of the match was SQC. Because it's really funny that SQC was like, he got into the charity game by laughing at Cal the Dragon last year and saying like, oh, I'll save all of that, and then get into that game and my god, Gideon fucking
Nah. That one goal, which bumbled off like him, and then Gideon didn't know what he was doing. So that was just a mess.
The first Ethan's goal in Nico's video, he said to Gideon handballs it in the box, and he goes, "Oh, you can't do that in the box."
Again,
outside the box,
surely should have
sent him off.
No, I don't believe there should be any red cards.
He gave advantage for the free kick. He gave advantage for the handball, so he played advantage because Ethan had the ball. So literally, had Gideon touched it again, it would have been a free kick. But he also then couldn't send him off because, like, obviously it's charity games. So it was like
I was gonna say nah. I feel like if anything,
they just let
if you do need to like do like a red card situation, just eject that one player and then just like
that's the
both
thing. He
teams still have
played
equal
advantage, and then he couldn't punish him for it and then Max Wash obviously had his reverse moment. I can't lie, so when you can tell someone's got something planned. That brother was trying to get booked all game.
Oh yeah, no. I watched his video that he posted, bro. He was like tackling everywhere. I didn't realize it.
I did. No, I did. Because I was like, who is this Brexit means Brexit player? Like he's just going so basically, when he did the Uno reverse card, I said, that's why you've been trying to slide tackle everybody everywhere. You've been trying to get booked to get your viral moment. Fair play. I was like, calm. Because before I was like, he's just like clattering people, and I was like, ref, what's going on? But yeah, it makes sense.
To be fair, he got his viral moment, and
he got the meme.
This guy was on ESPN, fucking American news. Like he popped off.
That's what if you're an influencer, you're on this thing. You want to get as many eyes on you, and that's perfect.
I was gonna say, his brand deal's gonna pop off after that. But that whole event was fantastic.
Next year, T will play in it, guys. You heard it here first. He'll be
Hey, listen, man.
He'll be
360 days to get there. Got 360 days to get there. I'm down.
Nah, because if I play, it's gonna be too try hard in it. Like, why is that man? I don't know. Street from 45 yards and scoring. Like, I'm like,
Hey, for me, it would be like, hey, why did that guy only play for 30 minutes and then complain about his back? Because I'm old, motherfuckers.
You know what's gonna happen? Why is that guy on YouTube All Stars? Who's that fake KSI? Man, and you're just gonna like start attacking people online. See, how dare you?
The first fucking game Kasim ever goes to is that KSI. That'll be his first ever, and the real KSI will be there. The real one will be there. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and the man will be like, "Is that KSI? Was that KSI? I don't know." Spider-Man meme.
Lord. Hold on, I'm gonna cut the recording here, and then all right, there we go. Alrighty, so hopping into the next segment here, we have officially decided to remove short poems from this segment.
Short poems. It's not Joe's poems anymore. It became short poems.
I forgot. It was short poems, actually. Yes, it was short poems. Fuck it. It's gone 17. Now. I regret to inform you, it is now gone.
Joe had 17 attempts, by the way. We tried. We did try.
I was gonna say, brother, we've been out here producing the content.
17 chances.
And thanks to Joe's now forfeiture of that segment, Davian has come up with the brilliant idea of sex positions of the day, which is crazy. Yeah, I'm saying it's crazy.
Wow.
But at the same time, I think it's quite genius.
I came up with this idea. Let's finish it. Do you want to?
It's quite genius.
Don't call your own idea genius. Fuck you. Okay, explain your idea to the people about fucking.
Okay, so basically, what Davian said is
what T said.
What Davian said is that we're going to go by different sex positions and then rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, and then that's what we're gonna do. It'll be literally a whole of a. I guess it depends if there's any discussion, but for the most part, it'll be like a 10-second to maybe 20-second discussion real quick, and then we're gonna hop into our core dating questions.
Just like Darth for real.
After, yeah, pretty much. Well, Davian, we'll start nice and simple. The sex position which you put forward today was missionary. Was there any thoughts behind that?
I put forward together.
Or do you just want to rate it 1 to 10? You just want to rate it 1 to 10.
I think you picked a great position. I think your idea was great. I think you've picked a great idea to start with on your fucking idea. Thank you for bringing it forward. It's such a good idea, you motherfucker. Anyway, what are you saying?
What would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
10. It is agreed. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to our sex position of the day. This may be edited in the future for like a different segment, but for today, that's what you got. All right. So, Davian, if we hop into our Quora questions for today.
You spent longer explaining it than you did doing it.
I wouldn't want it any other way, man. Okay. Are men who refuse to date single moms justified in their reasoning? Would you date a single mom?
Yes, but it depends on it. Like I don't know. You're definitely justified not to date a single mom though. Like
I think the only thing from my perspective is how involved the father
other, yeah.
is, because if he's not involved at all, it makes the dating experience so much easier because it feels weirder when
Having to
he's
do that
involved.
collaborative like thing and like you know what I'll say? I'll say the
I mean,
older
for the
you get,
child, that's fantastic, by the way. I'm just saying from a
I'll say
dating
the older you
perspective.
get, the older you get, the less stigma you can have behind dating someone who may have kids. Like because it's going to become more often. So I think really depends on your age.
Yeah.
Like if you're over 30, then you probably should be maybe expecting people to have kids.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, you know what you're going into.
So like that's so for us in our mid-20s, like I'm not gonna stop dating someone because they have kids, but also I'm not just looking for it. And also the environment has to be right, the relationship would have to be right. You'd have to like
There's a lot of factors
take into
around
account that you're not just going to be dating, like you're going to be dating the woman, but obviously you're going to be in that child's life. And if that's not something you're ready for, then if it's not something you're ready for, then it's actually quite mature to not do that because it's easy. It's leaving an adult is one thing, but having to leave a child, you're abandoning. You can feel like you're abandoning them. Blah blah blah. Like, you don't want to do that.
You just have to be honest with yourself. If you're not brave
And if you've
enough
got a
to
kid,
enter
then just
that, then don't do it.
if you've got a kid, just be honest about the fact you got a kid off rip, so then it's not a bombshell and they can make a decision for themselves.
Damn straight, bro.
Simple.
Because I feel like if you're just gonna keep that secret, then not secret, but like if
That's
you're
what people
gonna
do. They think
withhold that
they
information and then like wait
Yeah.
like 2 months and then
and
tell
then they
someone,
wait, and then like 2-3
like,
months, and then like I have a kid, and you're like, wait, you have a kid, and you're like, what the
I
fuck?
would. I mean, personally speaking, for me, bro, if I found that out, I'd be gone. Like I'd be like, no. You tell me that shit from the jump. You tell me that shit from the jump. Then I can make my own mind up.
Yeah, no, tell me from the start and let me really think about it before I do anything. Don't jump me with random information. That's gonna make me. It's gonna make me question you. What else you're gonna drop on me, and then I'm just gonna be like, and then then my fight or flight's gonna kick in, and then I'll flight in it.
And then I'll flight. All right. Next question here. At what age should I just give up dating?
18.
From the beginning.
No,
I would say, I don't know, man. I guess when you can no longer like go to the bathroom for yourself, maybe. There you go. Then maybe
I don't think there's any age to stop dating.
I don't know. Actually, yeah. I mean, even at that point,
I'm assuming that this person is just someone who hasn't found the right person. So he's like, oh, just give up on all humans. I think
there's any more
at that point,
I don't think there is.
If at that point there's no age, you just dating it. Like the point of dating is you're trying to see if you can be compatible with someone. Obviously, sometimes you have to put more. What?
This guy called Daniel. He was like, bro, just give up immediately. Not because of age, but because dating at any age is just a random game of hit and miss that is expensive, miserable, desperate, ellipses, totally not speaking about myself.
No. But no, the thing is like, yeah, deep it, like, dating's quite tough. And then when you combine that with the idea that obviously, like, we're in a world where now, man, people have so many options. Like, you really have to, like, because you're talking to someone, you don't know people they're talking to, and then you're putting time and effort and money into someone, like you're going on dates, doing all these things, and you're not sure. So it can be quite a numbers game, but then if you don't play the numbers game, you can't win. So it depends what you want. If you're happy being single, then you can just date more casually and not try. If you want a relationship, then just put the fucking work in. And when you find someone who meets what you need, then just remember how shit the dating life is and double down on that. What you shouldn't do is go on and be like, oh my god, when should I stop? There's no age. Like, fam, some people find their person at 50. Some people find it at 15 and they're still together. Like,
there's no
go on
limit for it.
Go find a girl who's done with dating.
Yeah, just
go find a girl that's done with dating, and then be like, at that point, just give it up and be like, look, I like you, but I can't be able to date. Like, look, marry me. Let's just move. I'm done. No dating.
I'm sick of this shit.
I'm sick of this shit. Come here, be married.
All right. Well,
and if that doesn't work, then I mean, dude, consent's important because, like,
no, I was gonna say, as long as you two are both on the same page, then you're good.
She has to say yes to the marriage thing. Don't try and then.
Yeah, no sketchy behavior here, man. No sketchy behavior.
Don't like Triple H. Okay.
Final question for you: If I get virtually
No. Oh, sorry.
if
I
I
thought
get
that's not already. Sorry,
virtually
go.
no matches on online dating, should I just concede to the fact that I'm less attractive than other men? And brother, I'll tell you right now, bro, are you paying for unlimited swipes? Because that's what it comes down to, or
Okay,
unlimited
no,
likes,
see, I
whatever
think
the
we should
fuck
break
it
this.
is,
See,
bro.
I think we should break this down. But I think we should break this down. I think there are levels to it. So obviously,
Mm.
we've got to start with budget. You've got to be paying if you're really wanting dates and things from
Mhm.
these apps. They are money making sites. You've got
That's
the
right.
money. You've got to be paying for this. You know you got to be paying to get into the front of the algorithm. Because let's be real, girls are going to be swiping. They're they can be. They will
Have
be
you ever
more
seen a
picky.
girl swipe through her fucking matches, bro? It's no, no, no. You might get 1 yes and 20. 1
Well,
yes and 20.
and then no. So what you got to do is you got to break your profile down from top to bottom.
Mhm.
If you can
Your
afford to get
photos
the
better be
premium,
on point.
if you can afford to get the premium, we get the
Mhm.
premium.
That's point
Then-
one. Point
then
two.
point two, we get the photos.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to get a range of photos. Basically you got to scroll through so it doesn't like take the same photo 5 different times.
Yep.
If you like, show you doing your interests, or just show you dressed up well. Give us something to like, oh, I like that hoodie, and you're like, okay, cool.
Exactly.
Well, you like he's wearing the hoodie to a certain, like it gives you an open barrier. Make sure it's you don't just look like every other person on the profile, because if you don't stand out, then it's gonna be a bit, yeah. Then you got to decide, don't have a cringy ass bio, either have none or just have one that they can get to know you but quickly.
I was
Like,
gonna
just
say,
don't do the
don't
do
do
the
like
dead joke.
10 paragraphs, a weird joke.
Oh, the thing is, so you can do
Like-
10 paragraphs, but what you got to remember is this is the person's first impression of you. If they click your bio, that usually means they look at your photo and gone, oh, what's this? And they want to read
Mhm.
more about you. So you either leave them with barely anything and they go, okay, I'll just swipe him anyway to see. And you got a conversation, or you just leave a small paragraph that someone can read that lets them know about what you're like. Hey,
What's
just
going
lets
on?
you know about you, just so they can go, oh, he seems like he has a personality. And then you've got to get to swipe him. Like you gotta
You gotta get to work,
in.
my guy. You gotta get
It's
to
a numbers
work.
game, fam. If there's 1 in 1,000 girls that like you, you better swipe 10,000 and get 10. That's how
I
you
was
gotta do it.
gonna-
You gotta swipe.
That's so true. And listen, man, all you
it's-
need, listen, the thing is, as well, my guy, it doesn't matter how many, the way I like to think of it, whether this is good or bad, I really don't care. Like, it does, I don't, from a guy's perspective, the amount, and they've done, I've seen YouTube videos, right? They'll get, a ridiculously attractive looking individual. Like, he'll look ridiculously good. They'll do the same exact thing, have him swipe. He won't get any matches or whatever. Then obviously over time the matches do accrue, but that's because I think they did 10,000 likes, and then they saw how many he got, and they used a girl who wasn't quote unquote that attractive for that experiment they were doing. Swipe 10,000 times, she got ridiculous amount of matches. As a guy, for the most part, if you're using Tinder, don't even look at who you're swiping on. Just swipe. Okay? The only thing which matters is if you get the match. And then after that, it's all, I mean, listen, man, it's literally in your hands.
You open a conversation.
It's in your hands.
It's about how you open a conversation.
After that,
not
bro.
open a conversation just saying hey. Not gonna work.
Facts.
She's got 90 DMs. She's got 90 DMs saying hey anyway. These
That's
one are
what I'm
going, hey, yo. It doesn't shine. You gotta come up with something that's unique and more on. It doesn't matter if you copy or paste it. It doesn't matter if you use the same line. If it's a tried and true thing, you test it out. You send a thing which will start a conversation that then you can show you've got personality, because they're gonna want to know you have personality, and if they swiped on you, they like the way you look, and you've got personality, then you can use that to have some conversation, form a little bit of a connection, set something up, get it off the app as soon as possible, and then do your thing. But also, it's the thing is, it's obviously it's not gonna be in a guy, because if you're a girl, the reality is most guys are gonna swipe on you just looking at you anyway.
Yep.
And if you're not the most attractive girl, man, are still gonna swipe on you anyway. Going, she might, work short term. No, but it's true. I've seen people do that. They're like,
Oh, shit.
they're like, she's not I've seen people look at someone on a social media thing and be like, I still would. I wouldn't date her, but I still would. And then they'll talk to her for a week. And then they might date you for like a week or two until they get bored, and then they're like, okay, well they cut. Like,
peace out.
As a guy, you're gonna get like less because even when girls are being thirsty on the app, they're still looking for the right person. They'll be like, oh,
yeah.
They're not just gonna pull up on a Craig. They're looking for a specific type. But yeah, it's not dating apps aren't that hard. And like the thing is, realistically, if we're being honest, most men aren't that attractive in it. Like we're not. Like, you look at women and you're like, when God made you, he was on his day. Men, like we ain't like it's just about how you present yourself. It's
exactly, man. Like it just
standing
that's
out
what
from
it
the
boils
crowd.
down to.
Obviously, it can't be me in it, cause like you can't all be like even when the hair's not that. You know what I'm saying? But like everyone out, like you know what I'm saying, like.
Oh my God. Listen, man, you just
like,
gotta
God did this thing, but like for you, man, like it's
you gotta try your best, man. That's all what it boils down to. You gotta try your best.
If she's laughing, you're there. You're like all you have to do is get yourself in a situation to have the conversation, and then after that, that's on you. If you can get the match, then you've got to work out what you want. Find the right girl, and then when you find one that's worth it, put more time and effort in, and then come off the app. It's fine. Like it's not. I think people make it more. People take more of an ego dump from like the swiping and not getting matches back, and it's like
you just gotta not care and do it, bro.
The game is the game, okay? Like, don't fall in love with the girl before you.
I was gonna say, do never, ever be like looking through someone's profile and be like, oh my God, this might be the one, because brother, 90% of the time you're not gonna match her anyway. So, but I guarantee you, the ones who you don't pay attention to, who you do eventually match, they will be fucking amazing human beings in themselves. And you will love that about them.
And 80% of the people, 80% of the time, you find the girl that you think is perfect for you. You swipe on her. Guess what? Not. If you ain't got premium, she ain't even gonna see you, blood.
And I guarantee you right now, even if you do match her, bro, it just won't even turn out that way anyway, brother. So get over
also,
it.
like sometimes, the thing with Tinder is you're looking at a face in it.
Yeah,
so
that's all.
Sometimes you can look at someone and go, that person like is. That's why I struggle using Tinder. Cause like I don't feel any attachment to just give. Like you fam, like I'm swiping through 100 girls and 99 of you look the same in it. Like it's calm. Like, but if they look cute, but the conversation is dead, then and they're in it. Like that's why you gotta swipe right on everything and then test out most of the conversations you can, and then just
I'll say like don't
go from there.
I mean, no one should ever put themselves down, especially over a fucking shitty dating app, bro. Like you'll be just fine. Well,
fam, you seen how that guy who bagged Ariana Grande, if he can do it, you can bag anyone, blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, come on now, son. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our final section of the stream.
I've been dragging out so long. I've been giving longer-winded answers to skip this.
I'm aware.
We ran out of time.
Okay, guys, we'll be back next week. Davian, would you like to start with anything goes, fetishes and kinky sex, or obsessions? Again, people, I don't read these beforehand. I just click them.
I want to start with obsessions, and then I want to go to the first one, and then I want to come finish on the fetishes and kinky sex, because I guarantee it's going to make you stop reading. Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
The first one. This was written by a bisexual male who is 36 years of age. The title is, Where Have All the Sexual Sadists Gone? I said what I said, bro. All right. Oh, God. All right. Okay. I have tried. See, I haven't even read anything, by the way. All I've seen is that it has 2 upvotes and like 18 downvotes. So I don't know what I'm about to read. Okay. I have tried about everything to contact one or more sexual sadists who would enjoy confining me in my expensive rubber bondage bag and using either or both hands on me mercilessly while making use of my nice house. And I'll even give them a day spend of £100 on my debit card. What the fuck is going on?
Keep reading.
All right.
You know it's going to be some fucked up shit.
The icing on the cake would be the desire to torment me with extreme orgasm delay and denial until I'm going out of my mind, needing to come. My only limitation would be no traumatic wounding of any form, mental agony, etc. but I'm yet to find anyone who'd like to do this. Why does this have 18 downloads? Is it because people want the job? Like, if a woman would pay me, yeah, I'm saying if I was single, she would pay me to do that. You're letting me spend money, and then just teasing someone. And what the fuck is this? I don't even know what the. Okay.
I got done. I'm just gonna move on. Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, next one. This one's from Anything Goes. This was written by a 25-year-old male. My ex has a new boyfriend. So I was scrolling through my contacts and saw that my ex. I was scrolling through my contacts and saw that my ex-girlfriend is dating a new guy. Since we broke up almost a year ago, I haven't been able to think about anyone else. I'm still embarrassingly hung up on her, and I haven't even tried to find someone else yet because I'm still not over her. Fair enough, bro. It'd be like that when you're in love. I saw the picture she uploaded with her new boyfriend. He's a handsome guy, much more handsome than me. He's in better shape, and maybe it's just my perception, but she seems happier with him in those pictures than she did with me. And is it weird that I like it? Not that I'm just happy for her, but I love knowing that a man better than me is with the woman I still sort of love. I sometimes get off to it. This has 7 upvotes and 7 downvotes. I think I mean, it's good that you're happy for her. The rest of that is yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. Don't think there's much more to say about that.
So what I'm hearing here is that's your ex.
Ex, yeah.
She's with someone else who you're now like, oh, they're way better than me in every way, and you're sat there going, I'm glad she's happy, and then just tugging it,
beating off to it, just straight up beating off to it.
I never would normally say this, but I see I see why you and man aren't together.
Yeah.
I think she upgraded, but not in the way you think she upgraded.
Bro, this is one of the comments here. There's nothing wrong with being a cuck. I'm a cuck. There's always bigger fish. There's always better men. He's probably better at everything than you. At least you're happy for her.
So next,
the final one for you today, people. This was written by a straight female who is 24 years of age. The category is fetishes and kinky sex, and I don't know why I clicked this, and I hate myself for it. It is called pregnancy fetish. It has 26 upvotes and 0 downvotes, by the way. All right. What is it with men being super attracted to pregnant girls? If any guys know, clue me in. I don't fucking get it either, woman. I beyond.
It's a biological thing.
Really?
Yeah. It dates back to the idea that at our purest form, everything we're meant to look for in a woman is basically meant to be of the idea that they get pregnant. So
what about you?
It's like a
you have
thing that like it's no.
Okay.
I just remember doing psychology about it, and it's like it's a whole thing of like because they it's just something that basically it's like so like talk about the pregnancy glow and shit, like it just I don't think people realize, but there's just a vibe that gives off that then triggers something in some guys that turns someone more about it. Some guys are more freaked out about it. Some guys, it's yeah, I find it kind of weird. I mean, if you're not harming anyone, you're not harming anyone, but you know, it's just like
it's a
weird thing to talk about, I guess.
Fair enough.
Like going around looking for it's a biological thing, but like I think some people are kind of evolved past it, and others haven't. You know.
Okay.
But, you know, to each their own. Don't just yeah.
I'll tell you right now. I've read on a little bit, just to make sure there's nothing to.
Oh, there's more. I thought that was it. I was gassed. I was like, yeah, cool.
Brother, oh, just you wait. So, what is it with men being super attracted to pregnant girls? If any guys know, clue me in. I'm just entering my month number. I don't know what she said. She's entering her 9th month of pregnancy, but she worded it like, I'm just entering month number 9, and then she put the of my pregnancy. I don't get it, but okay. Here is the confession part. I'm a prostitute. To pay for college, I worked as a stripper and an escort. After college, I became engaged and married 1 year ago. I continued as a prostitute, keeping a select group of regulars of maybe a dozen men. And yes, my husband knows. Man, people be cucking today. We planned on starting a family, and my intentions were to quit once I became pregnant. Well, it hasn't worked out that way. When I began to show, and it was obvious, I was called. I was pregnant. I called all my clients and then told them I was quitting. Within days, my phone was blowing up. Not only were the men asking me to continue, a couple of them were starting to offer me double the amount I was charging them before, which was already quite a high amount. The more I began to show, the more they were willing to pay. Like I said, I'm entering my 9th month, and I have one guy paying me to see him twice a week for around $1,500. Starting around my 7th month when I was pregnant, the man went into overdrive, seeing me once every 3 days, offering me around 2K at the time. I'm not reading the rest, but any thoughts? Why is your face like that? Oh God.
What? Why? I don't know. What? 1.5K.
Yeah.
2K.
And in her 7th, every 3 days, she didn't say for how long the period, that same dude started paying her 2K every meeting. I think she probably around the 9th, but just gave him a discount.
20,000 a month.
And that's not including the rest of her clients. That's just one guy. She said some of them started paying double.
Rich people are weird, man.
We live in
This
a
brother
very
is paying
terrifying world.
a net average of like 20,000 a month. Man was basically giving her 240 grand a year salary just so he could beat while pregnant. But I don't want to. I got. Dave, you got thoughts?
And brother, all I'm thinking is I'm hoping that number one, I feel sorry for the kid, but it is what it is. I'm just hoping she doesn't use this as like quote unquote fodder to have more kids just so she can rake in more cash. Because if this woman ended up with like 5 kids, no part of me would be surprised. And the fact that this has 26 upvotes and 0 downvotes, I'm just like,
the money was there. Technically, because she wants a family anyway, and technically, it'd make her more financially secure. She was making 50K through pregnancies.
Davian, I read the comments. I shouldn't have read the comments.
It's niggas saying they're paid to, innit?
The first comment says, well, first of all, the benefit is if I fuck you, you're already pregnant. So there's no lose-lose. It's a win-win situation, basically, is what I'm trying to say. The second comment said, think about it this way. It's like an early christening for your baby. Multiple. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the podcast.
There's no way that nigga said that. There's no way that nigga said that. There's no way.
I can literally send you a screenshot. I can literally send you a screenshot.
God's great. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. I believe you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming through to this week's podcast. A little bit extra for you guys as well this week. Don't say that we don't love you out here.
I don't.
But nah, thank you for watching. Hope you have. Please like, comment, subscribe. Have yourselves a amazing day, evening, night, or whatever. And we will catch you guys again next week. Deuces.
Hey.